So there's not just two options when we're trying to think of critical thinking skills. There are some other things, other strategies that you could use. We're not going to go into any of these strategies during this particular session, but other instructional strategies that you might want to use when it comes to teaching critical thinking skills could be things like case studies, right? And so a lot of times when people talk about using scenarios during training sessions, a lot of times they're talking about case studies where you take a look at a paragraph or a page long case of something that maybe has happened before or something that could happen around this concept, and you just kind of discuss what would you do in this situation, or what worked well in this situation that you read about, what would you do differently, things like that. But it's kind of a self-contained story that isn't really that long. Another thing could be participant-generated scenarios. Sometimes when we're teaching concepts, we want to just kind of hear from participants. All right, so if you were ever, who has an experience going through this type of customer service issue, or who has an experience dealing with an unhappy customer, or who has this experience trying to de-escalate something, conflict between employees or things like that. And sometimes we can get really good thoughts from all of our participants, and those are more meaningful because the participants are coming up with those on their own. They're tried and true things that participants have actually experienced. Other ways to bring in critical thinking skills could be Socratic questioning, or even problem-based learning. So giving people a problem beginning of a session, and having them work their way through it using the concepts that you have that you've kind of outlined throughout the course of your training session. And then simulated scenarios could be a case study that actually, a simulation where you're actually giving people a challenge that they need to work through, and then just kind of watching them. It's not necessarily a role play because people don't have scripts that they need to stick to, but you're giving people a real life scenario that they need to work through using new knowledge or skills that you've taught them. So those are a few different other instructional strategies that you might want to focus on.